What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back again with the latest edition of Real Estate Uncensored. We are live, and I don't know what the heck is going to happen on this particular show because Stefan Adika is back. We're talking about all things YouTube, actually, today. How to become a YouTube sensation, which Stefan is well on his way to becoming since he last appeared on the show. He's got a wild ride of a story to share. We've got my co-pilot here as always, and the evil bald ninja is also here. So I'm just going to take a step back, relax, kick back on my couch and let these guys take the show because this is going to be an odd one. First of all, my partner in crime, firmly ensconced in the co-pilot seat where you so belong, nowhere near me in Southern California. Greg McDaniel, what's up today?
I want to crawl in a hole and die at this very moment. I freaking drank too much coffee or something, and my stomach is just in knots right now. I am the least comfortable I've been in a long period of time. So if you see a hard exit left, that is Greg going to throw up violently somewhere. We do not know how this is going to work out or if I can make it to the bathroom in time, but it will be a hell of a story.
That's right.
But we have we don't have the evil bald ninja. We have the evil smart ninja with us.
Okay.
So evil smart ninja, how are you, buddy?
Listen, I'm doing way better than you apparently. And like I told you, when you drink the shitty whiskey, you feel shitty the next day. This is called a hangover, Greg.
It's not a hangover. I would admit if it was a hangover. It's not a hangover. I would be grateful for a hangover. I mean, then I could deal with Stefan.
Do you remember the School of Rock?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he asked the class, he says, "Kids, do you know what a hangover is?" And the kid says, "Yeah, that means you're drunk." And he says, "No, that means I was drunk yesterday."
Oh man, but we have the Adika, the YouTube sensation himself, making tens of thousands of dollars every day doing YouTube. Started with nothing. I was gonna make a bad joke there, but we're glad you're here, Bubba Cakes. How are you?
I'm glad I'm here too. Welcome. Thank you. Mazel to you, little Johnson. I see you're Microfamous right now. Thank you. What's going on? What's this microfamousbook.com? Plug yourself, Johnson. What is it?
It's where you can get the physical copy for free if you cover shipping.
There it is.
Okay. All right. And is that the light bulb that Greg needs to find the toilet paper after Montezuma's revenge hit him this morning?
Exactly.
Montezuma's revenge. It's just nausea from drinking coffee. All right, let's move the fuck on with something else here.
All right. G-rated. What? Don't be upset with me because your ass is upset with you. Gene, this is our first time together.
It is. I don't know how it's taken this long, my friend, but it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, Gene. They got us here to get the ratings up and to make the show exciting. I love you, Gene. I actually love you, and a long time ago, I loved the Gene, the card on the box. It reminds me of an old TV show because I am old. So on your mic, with your name, It's way cooler than the I did 20 sit-ups board on the back of Greg McDaniel's fuzzy wall.
All right, shut the fuck up. Here we go.
So
let's jump into YouTube where Stefan does not ever stop talking, apparently. Let's break into, Stefan, how did you get involved with YouTube? How did you start growing your channel? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Walk us through it all, huh? Well, it all started, Greg McDaniel, when I stalked you, right? You taught me how to sell a home, right? And I followed your league, and thank you very much. I walked into a door, got the listing, because I go, hey, I bet you're not trying to sell your home, are you? From cold calling, using the Red X that you do. And then I got in, realized it's a lot of fun being a real estate agent. It's not a stressful gig at all. But then later on, then I got out. Then I got back in, calling with you, got the listings out the door, bang, bang, bang. Then right before, actually, it was you that got me into the live thing, the live chat. And then I started just doing my phone calls. And then a friend of mine who's a YouTube vlogger, he goes, why aren't you doing your own YouTube show? And I go, well, who cares about my story? He goes, no. Why don't you try it? And it happened organically. It just happened with one person watching. I did my YouTube channel, had 23 subscribers in March. Now it went to over 2K from March to now.
Wow.
On my subscribers. I started realizing, wow, there's people out there that want to hear your story. So I was like Seinfeld. I did a show about nothing, no plan. I think a lot of people out there, you guys, everybody overthinks everything. And I don't. I just run with it. I just I'm just like that. I don't overthink it because a lot of you guys are thinking but not doing. So I just jumped into it. I didn't care if I looked like a jackass out there. I just did it. So I got to 100. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. And I didn't take it serious. I still do my cold calling old school. And I figured, well, let me try to do my real estate business. My buddy does, who's Jordan the Lion, a real vlogger. He does stories about famous Hollywood sites, actresses, sightings, whatever, history. So I was going in my area and I was videoing where Joe DiMaggio had his honeymoon, Marilyn Monroe, or a haunted bar. And I was trying to bring a story about my area so I could bring real estate business into my pocket, basically. That turned into people in the Midwest. Hey, I like what you're doing. You're funny. You're taking me away from my own problems. This is before COVID, right before COVID hit. All of a sudden, it went from 100 to 200, 500 to 600 people. I'm like, holy cow! I have something here. And excuse me, with COVID, I have a 5-year-old running around. So anyway, it started picking up, and then I did a Patreon account where people. It's like a club, and they could talk to you. I started just taking my business a little further, which turned into referral fees. I just actually, matter of fact, a closing on a referral I did in Texas from somebody seeing me in California doing my stuff. But YouTube is a different world than Facebook. Okay, it's a different world. People are looking for stories. People are looking for anything. It's like today's rock stars are on YouTube. These vloggers are the new rock stars out there. They have a story because people want to relate to a real person, not like a store-bought person and nonsense. So it's a whole nother world out there. So it's a club. To answer your question, I don't know if I did, Greg, but my thing is just growing organically, which is making your business grow for you, basically.
Right. So and that's one of the things that I talk about a lot is, getting people doing YouTube. I'm taking, actions to build up my my YouTube channel for my team. A lot of people are just don't know where to start. So did you have any fancy fangled, stuff to get started, or would you just literally hit, go live and
I did go live with my iPhone. I'd hold it. I would, this is what I would use. Now I'm using I would set it up here and I would just go live and hi. And I'd pick up my phone. I bet you're not thinking of selling your house. And organically, one day, there was a place in Central Coast, California, Nitwit Ridge, which is a place built out of garbage. It's like the guy took junk from the Hearst Castle and built it. And it was like on TV. So the guy happened to call me one day. And on the same time, I had my buddy who plays guitar with Alice Cooper. And I was live, streaming live. And I went to the guy. He goes, well, you called me. I'm a real estate agent. And then I happened just to be Jackass Adika. I go, hey, it's not going to hurt you to have me look at your house when I have connections to the Alice Cooper world. Oh, well, okay, let's come over at 5 o'clock. And I set an appointment. I filmed it. And what I did was I asked the guy if I could vlog, and I made it into a movie and the history about his location, the storyline. I built a story about it. I edited it out. It took me forever. I edited it out. I put it on YouTube, and that got hits. And
I want to talk about, because when you said you made it a movie. Talk a little bit about what you did and kind of give an idea to people, kind of what that would look like, and what the system is that you use to do it. Because I think a lot of people, even with a quarter of a brain, which sometimes I beg to differ if I have that when it comes to making videos. But what you did and kind of how powerful it really could be.
I used an app on my iPhone called iMovie, and you could do it on your laptop, but I did it on my iPhone, and I would film the whole thing in different pieces. And then when I went back, I made an iMovie. I made like an intro. I edited, I put a little music behind it, and I put it on YouTube. And I'd stream it out. Now, the whole thing with YouTube is it's the hashtagging that gets you. Greg, am I boring you?
No, I'm just going to throw up. That's all.
Okay, throw up. All right.
You're just talking.
It's okay. It's okay. Mr. D. It's okay, Mr. D. So you should just change it in Greg McDiarrhea. Okay, so listen. So it's all in the hashtag. So how you're doing it to get viewers on you out there. I did my thing about Nitwit Ridge. But you gotta look what's trending, the key words that relate to your story out there, because it's going to go viral that way, and you're going to bring a lot of action in to your world that way. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that is the key. So, for example, you don't want to title your YouTube Greg McDaniel Real Estate of Walnut Creek. No, if you have a landmark where you could do something that's going to be a key word to bring it in there.
Gene, what are you seeing on the marketing side with this stuff? Are you seeing a lot of people use the iMovie trailers? Have you heard of that before? As a marketing brand, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's the move, because that's actually what I use for the majority of my videos, unless I'm having them like ultra high level produced.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with Adika on this. Like, it's certainly easy to do, because especially if we're talking to real estate agents, right? Most of them are fairly challenged when it comes to the technical ability of doing the video. Which way do I hold the phone? Can I upload the video the right way? Now I got to do. iMovie's probably the most powerful, easy thing you can use to do it. And I know what you're doing, Stefan. You're probably creating the bumpers in like a template, and you just strap them on every single video you throw in, do a couple. And how long did it take you to learn? Like 2 weeks?
No, I was playing with it, but about 2 weeks to get it mastered right. Not to give it, but it was, for me, my attention is really, I'm like, I can't deal, because I'm all thumbs, and I would mess up I'd get to the end where this is the perfect video, this is great. I go, there has to be a better way. I want to do my YouTube. I want to brand my business. How do I do this, but to make myself not have a nervous breakdown? Because it was one flick was taking me all week just to edit.
Right.
And I was having all this extra film. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not that guy. So then I just decided, I kind of took what Real Estate Uncensored, what you guys did. Let me do a live show, but let me do it my way. Because you guys have all these different guests come on, and I go, well, how can I do that? And because you'd have all these different guests with different stories, almost a 60 minutes, and I wanted banter and laughter, but I want people to relate to me.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want, you don't want people to laugh.
Yeah, we squash that actively.
But but from a fan that was watching me, he had the StreamYard, which I turned Greg on to that platform, because it's like, wow, you could do overlays. And I'm like, really? But I want to engage with the people, because if the people who are watching that, they want to feel part of your show.
Yeah.
It's all about me world we live in. So I figured, how can I make this show? And I made the Coffee Talk Live with Adika, where I could interact, just like you guys do, with the fans, and then try to bring celebrities in. Kind of, like today, if you guys don't, I don't know if you know, there was the Nelson brothers, After the Rain, back in the early 90s. They were twins.
Rick and
Ricky Nelson was their father. Ozzie and Harriet had a show in the 50s, a TV show. Ricky Nelson was their dad. He passed away in a plane crash. And then the Nelson twins, they went on to be a big 90s act on Geffen Records. Well, I had today Matthew Nelson on my show, where the fans could talk, ask questions. I had a doctor on. So I start the show today with a doctor, with what's going on in the world, because people have medical questions. But I try to make it fun. It's, and I just try to create this vibe where it's casual, not sterile, and real. And it morphed into this using this crazy platform. So it went from iMovie, having a nervous breakdown. I go, well, how can I make this easier for me? Because I can't stick with this. It's going to give me. But I created a habit. I said to myself, every day, 8 a.m., I'm going to do my show. 8 a.m., what it is, 12 people or 100 people? 8 a.m. And now it's a consistent 100 to 150 that watch 8 a.m. with me. But I'm creating it. They know where to go. Even if they hate me, they're still going to watch. Yeah. So a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it's all good. You got to create the habit. You got to be consistent with your business. You got to do a formula that works. You're not going to come out there and get tattoos overnight and try to, with a headband, and try to be a maniac like me. It might not work. You might look like a fake, but you got to find the real you out there. And there's a lot of guys out there that do that overnight. They got tattoos and they're fakes. There's only one you, so be you in the business. And you know what I'm talking about. All day, Mr. Diarrhea, every day. I'm being honest. You got to find yourself out. Hey, I was a fake. I went on my first listening point. I cover up my hands with the tattoos. What the hell? It's not me, right?
And I yelled at you for that.
You yelled at me about that. I learned to be me. And it's funny, when I started being me and seeing other people want to be me, it made me, maybe you're onto something. Maybe you should branch. And then Greg was always, I like to be on TV. And I go, well, I could be funny as this guy. And I like Greg because I like this personality. And I like your guys' show. So you guys definitely formatted Coffee Talk. And I thank you guys for that. So I just try to do it a little... I try to make it old school Howard Stern meets Don Rickles, and then I switch different co-hosts when they get a little too, like Matt Johnson.
See, the funny thing is that you actually bring in a lot of, like, your co-hosts. They all have very unique personalities.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that like Matt and I figured out that we liked hanging out together. We love to pick on each other. And then I still don't understand how Gene got into it, but then Gene morphed into being our third co-host on the show.
It changes.
And we all work out, and we work out so well because we just blend well together. We laugh at each other consistently. And it is a good fit for us. Like your show is a good fit for you and your personality because you and your co-host, have similar interests, right?
No, not at all. It's completely all opposites. We have interest, but we're all like, I have a crazy collector, and I call him Crazy Oive. He's a Kiss fan. Then I got a guy that was a journalist for Rolling Stone Circus Magazine. And then you got
music.
But everybody likes music, Greg. We all have different personalities. You don't like music?
I just listen to my own podcast and just smell my own farts.
All right.
That's fantastic.
But it's a show about everything. Like, hey, I'll talk about everything, anything that has a story. I mean, look, people watching your show, they want to find the easy way to make $1. There's no easy way. Everybody out there's looking, Greg has, there's no easy way. The way is you got to work at it. And you might not make $1 in 6 months. It might take you 5 years. But this is what life is about. It's about working hard, and there's obstacles out there. Look, COVID happened. I happened to do my show right before COVID. So it was a place where people needed to laugh because I was laughing. I knew how to laugh at myself. So people go, wow, I could relate to this guy. And it just hit at the right time. Now, it is hard to build a YouTube following. It's not easy. It takes to get 500 people. That's hard. But the short time I got to build it up, and now I'm starting to see how once you can build it with the AdSense, you do a Patreon, you could do, the fans are supportive, and it's like a tip. They're tipping out to you. You're giving them joy. They're giving you, hey, thank you. I mean, there's nothing better than Coffee Talk with Adika live on YouTube in the morning. And I'm not being cocky about it. It's the honest truth. Whether you hate it or not, you are going to walk away laughing. That's it.
I do agree with that. I believe it. So let me take a deep left here. I want to take a left turn. Go ahead. I need to know a little bit about, because your history, the rock and roll. I've seen you enough to know that you're deep in some of these music circles. I've seen some of the things you've done and gigs you've played. Give a fan like me a little bit of backdrop. Where do you come from? Who've you played with? Who've you partied? Like, tell me what I don't know.
What you don't know about me is I quit high school at a young age, right? Didn't go to high school. I went to haircut school. I quit that too, right? I had to figure my life out. I went to LA. I had a friend that was in Guns N' Roses at the time. He was putting a solo band on. I happened just to jump on his coattails, played in his band. Then I met another guy. And it happened to be, it was just a scene. Now, there's a guy like Johnson who could smoke me out of water on musicianship. He's incredible, and he's a great singer. I can't do what he does. I was in a scene. I'm a vibe guy. Happened to be a good guy on the stage that could be simple, lock down his end, and I had the charisma on stage. That was my thing. Musicianship, no, it was the charisma that worked for me on stage. Then I happened to play with guys from Kiss, guys from Guns N' Roses, guys from Stray Cats, turned into an all-star band. Then I was playing with one of the guys from the Ramones that started the founder member of the Ramones. And it sounds crazy, It was just, people would see me, hey, I like this guy's attitude, and it was more to hang. See, back in the day, it wasn't how great you are as a musician, because you'll get a lot of these people, the great musicians, they're in their room practicing. It's the hang. Can we hang with you? Because you're going on a camping trip, and the show is only an hour, 2 hours long, but can you hang on the drive? Can we laugh with you? It's a brotherhood. And I was that guy. I got to play with bands like LA Guns. This is back. Now, everything has changed. Real estate has changed. Live music has changed. This whole world has changed. We're in a twilight zone now. Entertainment's not the same. We're on lockdown. Being a real estate agent, it's the scariest thing. I failed my test 10 fucking times. Can I say fucking? Yeah, 10 times. And then when I went to these fucking loser brokers out there that were trying to sell me their fucking Berkshire and all that bullshit that I have to pay them $300 to fucking bust my ass, and they would say, oh, we don't know if you're a right fit. Well, how come I got a listing in a month right out the gate when you told me I have to be a buyer's side? I went right out the gate and got a listing. Why? Because Greg McDaniel's magic. He knew something, and what I did, it wasn't because I paid for your guys' Rockstar thing, which I did. I did it. I lived it. I breathed it. I was consistent. The same thing with the music. You're consistent with all that shit. So when it came down to backtrack now about what you just said about all the people you played with, I was just determined to get on stage and to rock the hardest I can. And these guys liked me, so I ended up playing with guys like the Eddie Van Halen, hired us for a party and got to do these great shows. But that was yesterday, man. And they're forgotten stories.
Oh, I'm sure. Trust me, I'm sure there's plenty of those. But here's why I led you that way, right? Because the YouTube thing, especially for a lot of these agents, we know. I deal with a lot of these guys and girls, and part of it is the fear of using the camera, right? But part of it is, look, you got a moxie, you got a swagger, you have a personality that translates well to video, right? Because you're not afraid, you don't give a shit. No. You have stories, right? The ones you do remember, right? So what would you, because I've been there, I know what that is.
Remember.
Seriously, there's plenty of stories that are long gone. I know that.
Oh, Tony Bergman. So Adika is the Forrest Gump of rock and roll.
I guess so. I am. I mean, I never overthought anything, but I just jumped into stuff. I jumped into the swimming pool without knowing how to swim. That was my attitude with anything.
So the point to that question, though, to tie that back, is what recommendation do you give the guy down the street that maybe is a dull dude like me? I mean, it was hard enough for you to get 2,000 viewers. How hard is it going to be for the next guy, right?
It depends. Do you believe in yourself?
Okay.
That's the first question. Look in the mirror. And then look, I'm very competitive, and I look at other people out there. I go, well, that guy. See, Matt, but Greg would always get mad. I go, look at this guy doing this and this. Because why are you looking at people? Because I'm competitive. I make a game in my head, and I go, I want to be better and bigger, and that's my attitude. So now with this Coffee Talk show, it's like I'm 53 now, okay, and to be honest with you, real estate is a tough gig, but if I could still keep my license and do referral business, I'm all about it. Okay, you have to, it's work hard, but work smarter. What's that? That's they say.
Work smarter, not
work harder and smarter.
Yeah. and you got to recreate yourself, man, with this whole gang in this whole world right now.
Well, you do have to reinvent yourself. I 100% agree with that, and I do believe, because of COVID and because of certain circumstances we can't control, that this is the medium here for people to communicate on an effective basis. I think what you're saying, I think one of the most important things for people to become a YouTube sensation like you are becoming, and I used to make fun of you because you called yourself a YouTube sensation from subscriber number one.
20, I had one person watching me. I go, I'm going to become a YouTube sensation. And
you believed it. And you did it.
And that number was nothing. I was happy with 500. Then when I got to 2,000, I was like, whoa. If I could get to 2, then I could get to 200K. And if I get to 200K, I get to 400. So I believe in it. And and you know what? You can mark the date down. I definitely feel that the show's going to do something. It's going to go somewhere. It's all from my heart. And when you're doing your business, I probably went off what you were saying, Gene, and excuse because my mind's crazy. But you guys out there, don't get into real estate because you guys from the heart. Because if you don't have heart, then you're going to fail right out the gate. You're going to fall, and it's going to be a bitch. And let me tell you something else. Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, nothing is guaranteed. You're always reinventing yourself, okay? So do the best you can, but you got to believe in yourself. Look, I don't want to go on stage and take my shirt off and sweat my ass off. There's easier ways to do it. This COVID thing is bad, but it was a blessing and a curse. I was able to get myself with a little what you guys do in the people's living rooms that never met me before, with my crazy stories, my crazy friends, and bring some happiness. And the goal for my thing was to put a smile on people's faces because I was going through a depression. That's right. Real estate got into my head. It got me dark. It got me into a place I never want to go. And any real estate agent out there that says they're fucking the millionaire, with the suit and your tie, you're full of shit. You've all been fucking depressed and sad about something because this business is a tough fucking game. So true. I took my depression. I go, how can I turn it around and help myself and help others? Then one day I started just going live and I rambled. And my rambling put a smile on somebody's face. I go, oh, they wrote me a letter. Stefan, I love what you're doing. I have an artistic kid. I'm a single mom. Wow. Then I got another letter. My mother, she's 70 years old. She loves your YouTube channel. I'm in the military. Thank you for what you do. And I wrote back and I would answer every letter. I go, wow, I am touching somebody. With my nuttiness, my attention disorder, I'm getting into people's house better than asking people, "Hey, are you thinking of selling your house?" I couldn't handle it anymore. It was getting to me. So I go, if you watched me and Greg always dial together, I was always funny. And I always got an appointment fucking out the gate. I could set appointments and listen, you real estate agents don't think so. Listen, bitches. Yeah, I would set appointments left and fucking right because I knew how to crack a smile. I made people smile. Greg, am I wrong or right? We would.
Oh, you're right. You would set appointments and it would drive me absolutely batshit because I'm like, God damn it, this fucking guy. Mm-hmm. And then he would talk mad shit to me and then I would beat you into submission because then I would get appointments and it was a nice battle back and forth.
It was a battle.
And then you got too big for me and you didn't want to hang out with the small people anymore.
No, I always hang out with you, but I thank you because Greg because I forgot who I was when I got my license because I was trying to create myself but lose myself. And then he could stop it. And then he brought it back out of me because I'm obnoxious. Not everybody's going to like you. You know, there's going to be certain people that like you. But okay, honey. But she's going to stop the bed. And this is what you got to do. I would do my calls with the kid crying. So anyway, Gene, are you thinking of selling your house lately? And then I want to die here. I hope that's not today. And I would do to Greg, and I would make people laugh. And then Greg and I would just, you know, it's like you got to make people smile. If you can make people smile and believe in you, they're going to believe in your business too. And that's where it all comes from, man. I mean, but don't be a real estate agent because, you know, you see Greg doing it and you think it's a fucking hard fucking game out there.
It's a hard game. And I asked you from day one, Stefan, why are you getting into this bone crushing, meat grinding industry? And I asked that to every single new agent. And they're always like, I like houses. I'm like, oh, you're fucked.
I didn't know what to say. You know what I got into? Because I thought it was the only door open to make a living. But I will say this. I mean, Greg, instead my depression, instead of me, doing something stupid to myself, turning myself into YouTube and making, taking that lemon and making it into lemonade. I mean, it was a blessing and a curse. I mean, the COVID thing sucks, but now I'm able to get into people's homes and put a smile on people, and it's great. And on top of that, I'm able to do a referral business on top of it. You gotta figure how you want to do your business. Half of the people on YouTube who are talking about like how to get checks and all these checks, what's going on, the government. If you go down, they're real estate agents. Everybody's a real estate agent trying to sell some other horse shit out there. They're all agents. It's the truth,
It is. There's a lot of people out there that literally, they probably aren't the best salesperson out there, but they have a great mind for publicity, and so they publicize everything that they do, and they do what Gene does, and they go and they take content and they shred it, and then they push it out over all different social media platforms, and they appear a lot bigger than they are until they grow into that. And then there's nothing wrong with that, nothing in the slightest. But I think like what you're talking about is when you guys start building a YouTube channel, when you guys start doing these different things to get get noticed, make sure you stay authentically true to you, no matter what that is. If you like the farm life, great, talk about fucking farms. If you like the inner city, great, talk about inner city. If you got a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 7-year-old, hour-old, your daughter is running around, own the fact that you got a kid running around. Sometimes with pants, some without pants. We don't know what the day is going to show, right?
You don't know. You don't know, man. It's definitely a tough game. But the YouTube thing, it's a fun world, it's a community. Am I Elma J. Fudd, own a mansion in Yacht? No, I'm in the beginning stages of it. I'm not going to sell you guys, but it's building up. I have like a Patreon account where I have 60 plus people in it right now. It's like, wow. There's people that really, and it's a family. I made a family, and they're great fans that I have. They're loyal. Deb, I make a goal of getting 25 plus people to tell me no every day. And that's the typical book, of real estate. It's just, you're going just almost a go for no. I mean, Greg, I know you're having stomach issues and all that stuff, but like that's her goal, 25 plus people. I done this YouTube show. It worked for me. It got me a referral out there where a fan wrote to me, I want to sell my house. She closed in 2 weeks. And then I went on your real estate group pages and I go looking for, referral. This is what my fee is. And some guys, and I'll be honest with you, I was charging 30%, and other agents were saying, oh, that's too much money, or the referral fee. I go, well, what do you have now in your pocket, right? What do you have now? And the guy ended up taking it and closed in 2 weeks. So here I brought him something they didn't have. a couple other agents were trying to hawk me China. It's like, hey, it's like I'm from
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Don't try to outsell me, man. It's 30%. Take it or leave it. Well, this guy, it was a great thing. The one guy took it and closed in 2 weeks. Is that a bad deal?
Nope.
That's right. So you guys out there, you want to do business, you want to do referrals, we'll hit. It's 30% and that's it. You don't want it, then I don't care. Go somewhere else and get nothing.
Oh, the stellar negotiating skills of most agents. Gotta
That's
love
right.
it.
That's
yeah,
right.
it's such a odd scarcity. It's an odd manifestation of scarcity mentality, which is, oh, you're going to give me a referral? Yeah, but don't I get 99% of it? After all, I'm doing all the work. I'm like, no. Getting the referral is most of the work. The rest of it's customer service.
Totally.
So why isn't it worth 30%? It's absolutely worth 30%. If you're a lead generation company charging that, that's what they charge. And why do they do that? And why is that an industry standard in a whole bunch of different industries? Because that's how much lead generation is worth. Period. End of story.
Amen, Matt. Matt, I couldn't agree with you more. It's the hardest thing to do, getting the appointment. But because you get the appointment doesn't mean you got it. Then you're going back and forth. You're playing tennis back and forth. And then you think you got it. Then you think you got it. You're telling your wife, I got it. You don't got it. And then you're sitting there with holes in your shoes. You're death of a salesman. It's tough. So when somebody is doing dirty, I would take it. Say, hey, Stefan, in your area, this is what Tony, deal done. That's it. Mazel, let's rock and roll. You know.
Tony, sorry. For those of you listening, one of our listeners just typed in that they do. He says, "I do 30%. I give it and require it." And yeah, so Stefan will take you up on that 30% referral fee for an inbound referral to his area anytime. By the way, Stefan, where are you at so that people understand?
I'm
where you're
in
at?
Washington now, man. I am actually in Washington, but my license is in California right now. So
Okay.
I'm not giving up my California, and I have business out there that I have my referrals out there and I haven't gotten to doing the cold call. To be honest with you, I've been so busy with Coffee Talk. It's a day and night. It became such a day and night gig for me. So I laid off on doing my calls. But when I was doing it, I was using the RedX. It works for me, and that's it. I'm going to get my license here in Washington, but you always got to have something in your back pocket. And I'm a sales guy, and I always be selling, but you know, I believe in my show. I'm giving 110%. So for you guys that believe in something, here's a tip: make sure you got a good-looking wife with a good job and good health insurance, so you can be a YouTube sensation to get you off the ground.
That's right. And celebrity friends. But there is something you mentioned before we went live, if you don't mind sharing. And I think my video just
Ishmael wants to know what my YouTube show is about. It's a morning show, Ishmael. It's 8 a.m. And it's almost like Howard Stern, old school meets Don Rickles. I bring celebrities. I talk about what's going on in the world. I bring up celebrities to talk with you. You might not know their story, but it's about people who have a story that has a story. And it could be a janitor, it could be a rock star, it could be an actor. That's that. You know, it's about the joy of StreamYard. You're in, you're out. Look, Matt's gone, he's in. So that's what my show is about. It's just a talk show. I do at 8 a.m. Then I do a Saturday show about vinyl records, and I bring celebrities. And I have the guy from Kiss, and we talk about records. And every album has the story of your life from when you were a little kid, the art, and you see the shot, and everybody starts talking. So the show feeds off the audience. I'll look at the comments, I'll add it into the show, and that's how I'm angling it, because the people make the show.
I love that. Listen, I know Matt was going to go down a different road, but I'll take it. It seems he's having a little technical difficulties. I have a friend who's a baseball agent, and one of his, I don't know if it's his guy or not, but he sent me this video channel the other day where this guy is unboxing and opening baseball cards at different stadiums. So he goes to play. He's a pitcher in the big leagues, and he goes. It's called Strom's. I forget what it is, but whatever the case is. But he's got an audience of people that want to see these baseball cards that are opened, and he kind of. There's no interaction because it's not live; it's taped. But I love the fact that you're feeding off what people want live, real time. I mean, there's nothing better. I gotta be honest with you. I can't wait to sit in. You're 8 o'clock, what, Washington time?
8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11.
Well, that works
Eastern.
for me then. I'm just getting up at 11 o'clock Eastern time, so that's
Eastern
good.
Time. And then I send people in, and what I do is, because you get a lot of like people that want to knock you. There's a lot of trolls out there, so I have my Patreon account. I know who my fans are, and I'll send a link to those people in my Patreon account because it's a family. Because when I first started the show, I was putting the link randomly into the public, and out of the blue, and I'll drop a name. My brother-in-law has a show. It's called $15 Game Show, and he has a big following. So he puts these links on and gets random people. I'm like, well, so I took a little of Greg, Matt's show, Gene's show, and my brother-in-law's show, and I go, this was the foundation. Well, they're sending links out. I'll say, put a link in here, come and sign on. Right out the gate, the first guy sent the link out, he pulled the schlong out of my show, and all these bots are trying to shit out. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
The schmeckle.
My brother-in-law, his name is Carl, he has a show, $15 Game Show. His brother's John Mayer, and he's getting John's fans. So I figured, well, if I could kind of do my friends' fans, like the Kiss fans out there, all the rock and roll and whatever. And then now I'm trying to do, I'm from the 70s, grew up in the 70s. Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas show. They were 60 minutes. Those are big shows. I go, how can I make my show like that? Not only rock guys, but if I could bring anybody with a story, whether you're a top agent, because I had our buddy on here, Ronnie on my show, anybody with a story that's interesting, I want to bring on my show. So that's where I started taking the show out. And it just, now it's a mixture of mishmash, the show. Anybody with a story.
I want to jump in again. I want to ask you one question. Just so we've been talking a lot about YouTube versus Patreon, right? For the folks that are not indoctrinated, explain the difference between Patreon and YouTube. How do you use those two together or mutually exclusive? Explain that a little bit.
Well, here's the Patreon thing is it's basically people they want your knowledge, or they want to get to reach out to you. So what you're going to do in Patreon is whatever if you have like tiers and you have a program you set for real estate agents, well, here's my 10-step program to get you to be a better agent. Then there's your 5-step program, how to make a phone call. You could set it up, or if you like what I'm doing, it's like a tip jar. You could start it from $1, $5, $10, and it's monthly. Then you could do the MacDown. You could do on there, well, here, I'm going to teach you how to be a better negotiator for real estate. I'm just giving examples. And you could do a $100 thing where they come on, they'll get 5 sessions, whatever you want to do. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Okay.
That's a Patreon. Patreon is separate from YouTube. It's where you could put your platform, your system, basically whatever system you're trying to sell, you could put it in there, and then people who are interested in you are going to buy into that. It's a membership club, and they're subscribing, and they're telling you, hey, basically the public's going to tell you, like your house, they're going to tell you what you're worth.
So in your case, you're doing the live show on YouTube where the people are interaction. You're selling the links for the $1, the $4, and the $7 subscriptions, and then you're pre-recording the videos behind those paywalls, or are they live things too?
Everything I do is live. I have no patience to pre-record and sit there. I do an 8 a.m. show, then I'll do a recap of 5 a.m. show. It's like the news. And then I'll do a Saturday night show about vinyl. But those people want to chit-chat with you. And it's tough to chit-chat with anybody. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm taking time away from my family, but I'll send out, whether it's guitar picks or this, I'll send out special items to them, And I mix that with my YouTube. So then I put the link to the Patreon in the YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So people will watch my show, they'll like it, and I put it in my description, and then they'll click on the description and go, I want to see what Stefan's Patreon is. Whether it's Greg McDaniel's 20 Steps to Be a Success. Ooh, what is that? So then they go, for $5, I could get this. They click on Greg's $5. He sends them this steps, and then they read it. They're into it. Then there's another tier. For $20, talk to Greg. Oh, I want to talk to him. I love his show. I want to pick his brain. So for $20, you get to talk to Greg. And that's just an example of it. It's hard for me to explain it.
That makes total sense.
Is it possible for me to sell something on Patreon where other people can pay me to talk to Greg instead of me talking to Greg?
You know what would be a great show? For $20, they could watch you to show how you could put hemorrhoid medicine on the anus.
Come on. All right. All right. Let's wrap the show up. All right. First of all,
Whoa.
So Coffee Talk with Adika on YouTube. All right. So one final question. You mentioned that you've had some big guests on from your musical past, but you were surprised by some of the guests that you had on that actually got better responses and better views on YouTube. Who were those people?
It's a whole different world. YouTube vlogger, it's a big community. There's people very interested in YouTube vloggers. So if you could become a YouTube vlogger and people relate to it, it's master. Like I had the manager for Kiss, Doc McGee. Now this guy, James Brown, Isaac Hayes, manages Kiss, discovered Motley Crue, Bon Jovi. That's huge, right? You know. Then I get this woman named Wanda Hussey who's in a bikini looking for hot springs in the desert. She got more views than Doc McGee. You don't know. It's just a whole nother world. But she is a girl. She's very smart. She has a great channel. And people are into it. They want to see a woman walk around in a bikini in a truck, you know, and it's funny. It's a little humorous. It's funny, you know. But this YouTube, it's so big, man, and you have to just know how to hashtag everything. But it's such a huge world. It's the best platform for your business. You'll have more eyes on your business if you could tap into YouTube the right way.
And that is true. So I think I'm going to go crawl into a hole and die.
Go. Now your ass is running. My kid's yelling. Come on, let's wrap this up, then, guys.
Wrap this thing up. All right, Gene, select the color of the bow that we will wrap upon this episode.
In honor of Greg, I'm doing brown and green puke.
Oh my God, you guys!
No, Greg, you should have never said something. Don't
Have
divulge.
you been watching
the next
him?
time,
You didn't
don't
say
divulge.
anything. Did you see his face?
Yeah, I know. It's all green. How about we tie a nice green bow because Greg is just green in the gills.
Okay, I'm going to do a shameless plug. It's Coffee Talk with Adika Live. Check it out. My Patreon's there. If you love the show, please subscribe. If you hate the show, send it to somebody you hate. If I annoyed you, let me annoy them. Okay, that's all I ask for. Just give me a shot, but subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. And if you think it's worth it, send me $1. If you hate it, take that $1. Send me to somebody you really hate because I'll fix their wagon for you. Hey, if there's somebody you don't like, let me fuck with them if they fucked with you. All right? I love you guys. All right? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Gene, where can people get a hold of you?
Over on Coffee Talk with Adika because I'm his next guest.
You are.
That's
Done.
Right, exactly right.
Done deal. Done. Shake on that.
All right. Go to genevolpe.com and get a hold of them there. Matt, where can I get a copy of Microfamous?
Microfamousbook.com. Get it for free, the physical copy. If you're like me and you actually enjoy a physical book in your hands, get it for free. As long as you cover the shipping, I pay for the cost of the book.
All right. That's fair enough. And Adika, one more time, they can get a hold of you at YouTube. Just look for this, Coffee Talk with Adika. 8 a.m. in the morning, then a 5 p.m., not 5 a.m., 5 p.m. wrap-up of the show that he did that day. He also does a Saturday show, so you can definitely tap in and get a hold of him. Yeah. Guys, you can go ahead and reach out to me, shoot me a DM or a text. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. Obviously, look for this, and you'll find me. Or go ahead and text me at 925-915-1978. All right. And this is when we meet Adika. Okay, and you guys, thank you for watching the show. I appreciate you. We love you. And until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.